Ebony, do you feel something in the air today?
Of course I do, Destiny. It's February 14th.
Huh?
And we want to welcome you all to a special love edition of the Weekly Ring. I'm your host, Ebony Duell.
And I'm Destiny Collins.
So, Destiny, what's your idea of Valentine's Day?
Well, when I think of Valentine's Day, I think of love, candy, gifts, teddy bear, gifts. Did I say gifts?
I think you mentioned gifts once or twice.
I am Gloria Horton, and I am currently here with Jayla, Miss Sophomore, and she's going to give us her experience of her best and worst Valentine's Day. So, Jayla, what would you say was your best Valentine's Day?
My best Valentine's Day would probably be Valentine's Day when I was in maybe like the 6th or 7th grade. My dad surprised me, my mom, and all my sisters. When we woke up that morning, we had teddy bears all in the living room, roses, balloons, flowers, all that type of stuff. And he had us cards of like $50 each in it. So that was probably like my best Valentine's Day ever. And it was from my dad, so.
Okay, I would be happy too. So, what would you say was your worst Valentine's Day?
Probably this one. Like, my dad's not here to spoil me like that. I don't have any guys to do it for me, so this one's probably going to be the worst ever.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, I hope one of your Bennett sisters do something special for you.
They might. That's a good idea, though.
That would be really good. Well, I would like to thank you all for tuning in while we find our best and worst Valentine's Day. Bye.
So, Destiny, I got you a little gift in honor of this special day.
Really?
Yeah, just give me a second. So I found the cutest glasses, and I just knew they fit you.
Oh,
There you
they're
go.
beautiful, but Ebony, I kind of got you the same thing.
Well, that's great, Destiny. We can now be twins. Twinsies.
Twinsies, sister.
This past weekend was the annual Black History Media Festival, and it was a blast. Here are some highlights from all the programs, and we also are going to be showing student projects throughout the show.
Like, sometimes you can get cut out of a film, and that's something that you have to be prepared for if you're trying to work in the film industry, whether you be an actress, a producer, a writer, director. Sometimes your art just isn't received, and you have to have tough skin when you're working in this industry. There's been multiple times, I mean, though I've been working professionally for 4 years, it's been, my mom could probably say it better, maybe like 8 or 7 years that I had been like trying to get into the industry. And then once you get in, no matter what field you're in, sometimes like your work can just be thrown away. So you have to, like, being African American, we obviously have to work, 10 times as hard a lot of times to be, get the jobs that we desire. And also you have to be ready for, like, you work that hard and you're just there and no, and it's okay, because like those punches are going to make you way stronger and allow you to work harder and make better successes.
I tell my students, yes, I want you to interview this person, but I also want you to spend a day, at the very least, an afternoon, just hanging out with them. Shadow them. Go with them to the grocery store. Go and just do what they do. Just shadow them in their lives. Because sitting across from somebody and saying, well, what about this? And do you remember this date?
Now a special Valentine's Day message on McLean's Minutes.
True Love's Transformation is based on The Princess and the Frog. It's an absolutely wonderful movie with a lot of great messages. We know the main character is Tiana, who's very ambitious, and she is a wonderful baker, wants to open a restaurant. And then it's contrasted by this very spoiled prince, bless his heart. He spent up all his mom and dad's money, so they kick him out. So he tries to win money, if you will. He tries to gain money and prestige, and he ends up involved with the shadow man and ends up being a frog. So he goes to the ball and everyone's all dressed up, and Lottie, who is one of the hostesses of the ball, is so excited because she just is trying to find her a man. And in the process, knowing that the prince is going to be there, she has on her makeup, she has on her dress, and she's all ready for the festive celebration. But what she does not know, that the person she thinks is the prince is actually someone else. So Tiana finds herself in the room getting herself ready, and she is minding her own business, and she hears this voice, And she looks around and it's a frog, and actually she's frightened. He explains the situation and says, if you give me a kiss, according to the storybook, I'll turn into a prince. And she was like, I don't kiss frogs. And so he encouraged her to do him a favor. So she actually bent over, and when she kissed him, instead of her transforming him into a prince, she was transformed into a frog. And that teaches us a lot about love. First of all, when you actually engage someone, or when you touch someone, hopefully your touch will lift them up to a better place, as opposed to bringing them down to a lower state of mind. And it's not that she did a bad thing, she just really didn't think it all the way through. Because what she thought would happen was that her touch would transform him, and it ended up being the other way around. So here she is minding her own business and ends up not in a gown with a crown, but she ends up with what he calls mucus, because he's a frog. So she finds herself there running through the woods trying to escape. And over time, as they get to know one another, they realize that the outward appearance is not the most important thing. They realize that the heart is the most important aspect of love, because the scriptures teach us in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 that love is patient and love is kind, and love does not think of itself always. It's not selfish. It always loves and protects and perseveres, and it does not keep a record of all the wrongs that are done to it. So as we approach this Valentine's celebration with its flowers and teddy bears and all of the wonderful outward appearances of love, ask God to show you the heart of the person that you're most interested in. And also ask God to show you your own heart. And hopefully the transformation that will take place will elevate you both. There won't be any selfishness involved in it, and you will all come out on top knowing what true love is, because true love brings out the best in all of us, because true love transforms. It's just a thought.
Wait, Ebony,
Yes.
what were some of your most memorable moments of Valentine's Day?
Best or worst?
It really doesn't matter.
Well, oh my gosh. My worst Valentine's Day was when my boyfriend broke up with me in 9th grade.
Shame on him.
I know, right? And my best was when my boyfriend in 12th grade filled my room up with balloons and a huge teddy bear, because I just love teddy bears and balloons.
Wait, it wasn't the same guy, was it?
No, of course not, no.
I'm just making sure. Well, since we're both taking a trip down memory lane, 60 years ago, Martin Luther King Jr. came to Bennett College. And this past Sunday, there was guest speakers to talk about their most memorable experiences with him. And I had the honor to interview a lot of the guest speakers. Let's take a look.
So that evening, I was living in Maryland Hall, and I decided I was going to see him. So I sneaked in the chapel, went up in an area where the choir stand and crouch stand, and when he was speaking, I was looking at him.
When you first heard Martin Luther King's speech in Montgomery, Alabama, how were the feelings and the emotions when you first heard him?
I was excited. I had heard about him, I had read about him, and I was waiting to have an opportunity to meet him in person and to hear him speak. And of course, the first time I heard him, he was preaching at his church, and I really enjoyed that.
Very riveting to be in proximity to him, and to know that this great person was in our presence. So I was very excited, very honored to be able to hear him.
There is a bridge less than a block away from my house. Steel bars lined up 10 feet tall, placed carefully by black hands as a suicide prevention plan for black poets like me who are not afraid of heights, but is scared of the fall. There are railroad tracks 2 blocks away from our house, near a coffee shop, where I sit in a wooden chair and think how much I want to walk down those tracks, find my poem in the rubble, kiss my heartbeat in the dust, watch Los Angeles rain in July, all of my rose petals been plucked, beaten black in concrete, wilted like my cracked skin, open, let me bleed so you don't have to. Write a poem about black poets who think of suicide, but it might not be enough to save us. Your poems will burn the ashes.
I spied with my little eye 2 girls who are having different Valentine's Day experiences. There's drama filling up in the dorms.
Well, what's the problem? Somebody didn't get a giant teddy bear?
I don't know, but let's take a look.
Neat. Yeah, what about you? What are you doing on this Valentine's Day? Nothing, just gonna be here in the room. Oh, that is so sad, but girl, you know, I gotta go. Where y'all going out to? Girl, he take me to this romantic fancy dinner, and then we're gonna go to this hotel afterwards, you know, get a little back on. Damn. It's okay, girl. I'm gonna find you a man.
Hello, I'm Tiana Glad, and I'm your host for the Roommate Rivalry segment for A Love Dispute, and I'm here with Sierra Long, and today we are going to talk about how can you be considerate of your roommate's feelings that she doesn't have a significant other. So Sierra, how could this day be a bad day for someone who doesn't have a significant other?
Okay, well, Valentine's Day can be a bad day for people that don't have a significant other just because they might think about old breakups that they've had in the past around Valentine's Day, or just for the simple fact that they could be dealing with something currently with their significant other, or I don't know, it's just bad events could have happened around Valentine's Day.
Okay, and what advice would you give the one who's not really concerned about her roommate?
I would just ask her to, or just tell her to be mindful of her roommate who possibly isn't as happy about Valentine's Day, just because you never know what she might be going through as an individual, and just to be respectful, like, yeah, enjoy yourself, go out and have fun, but also check on your sister, check on your roommate, and make sure that she's doing okay as well.
And what would you say to the sad roommate?
To the sad roommate, I would just tell her that she should try to, you know, find something to do. Like, I'm pretty sure not all of your friends are romantically involved with someone. So just go out if you go to the town and just like go catch a movie or go out to dinner with some of your friends and just have a good time, because you shouldn't sit there and be sad. It's not going to really help anything.
Okay, thank you, Sierra, for all your advice.
You're welcome.
In 1993, the International Civil Rights Center and Museum opened in Greensboro, North Carolina. Founded by Melvin Alston and Earl F. Jones, the museum focuses on the highlights of the 1960s and most notably the Greensboro lunch counter sit-in. Hurley Derrickson is an original co-founder and board member of the museum. Here are his thoughts on the importance of the museum and its impact on the community.
Well, Skip Alston talked to Earl Jones back in, it might have been early 1992, and about buying the building, because the building here, the Woolworths building, had been empty for about a year. Well, of course, this is sacred ground because this is where the 4 students sat down at the counter. Well, we're the strongest, I guess, venue in downtown Greensboro, and by that, what I mean is that right now we get between 70,000 and 90,000 visitors every year. 35 to 40,000 high school students and grade school students to come down here to look at the museum, to take the tour. We did an economic impact study with 2 economic professors. One was from North Carolina A&T, the other one was from UNCG, so we hired them to do what they call an impact study, economic impact study. When they did, they said once we reached so many people, the city of Greensboro would feed off of us. Ms. Lee, who was chairman and CEO of BET, Black Entertainment. And the reason I liked her is because of the fact that she's from Greensboro, went to Dudley High School, and she has given us self-esteem and more image than probably anything else that I can think of.
This week, we found out Bennett College received a $20,000 grant from Walmart. We want to extend a thank you to UNCF and Walmart for their support.
Thank you, Walmart, and thank you, UNCF. We greatly appreciate you. We want our entire sophomore class to make it out to sophomore week this week, and make sure you participate in all the activities. So, I know everybody has a date for tonight. And if you want to slay like Kay, here's some beauty tips.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to Slay Like Kay. And today we have in our chair Miss Shonare Ote for our Valentine's Day special. And today we will be showing you how to slay your edges. And Miss Shonare Ote, she works for the financial aid office with scholarship coordinator. She's a scholarship coordinator. And also, fun fact, she's a hairstylist as well. You have anything you would like to say, Miss Ote?
I am ready to get slayed by Miss K, and yes, I do hair as well. Such an inspiration to see another belle.
So, ladies, today we will be using 24-Hour Edge Tamer by Ebony, New York, and it's called Extreme Firm Hold. Clear, no flakes. And we will be using a regular brush and a comb, rat tail comb to be exact. Okay, could you hold this for me?
I'm a fan of this product as well in taming edges after any kind of style.
That's right. So what we're going to do, you really don't need a lot of this product. You just lay it down.
Like you said, it doesn't flake, so that's good.
And that's what helps as well, because if it starts flaking, and you don't really have to reapply this one too much either. It's just like once it's done, it's done. And it also helps when you do it best on clean hair.
Yes. So are we getting a design on our edges today, or we're just going to do a simple professional slay?
A simple professional slay. Because she does work at a college institution, so we don't want her to do too much, because she still has to interact with parents and stuff like that. But for the nighttime, we can swirl it on up.
Perfect timing for Valentine's Day, I must say.
Yes. Do you have any plans for Valentine's Day?
Well, of course, spending time with my little ones, as the campus may have met already. So, cards and chocolate fun and watching some movies likely.
Oh, okay. And you see, ladies, how it just lays right on down? And we didn't even use a lot of product. Not at all. And just swooping it back and bring it forward. So ladies, we would like for you all to send us pictures of your edges and how you slayed them for your Valentine's Day date. Thank you.
Thank you all for tuning into this special love edition of the Weekly Ring. And we want you all to follow us on our social media platforms, coming to you soon.
And all you men out there, be like Ebony's 12th grade boyfriend.
He wasn't really that great after all. But I want to wish you guys all a happy Valentine's Day. Destiny, I've been feeling kind of bad lately.
Why?
I've been really, really selfish.
You have.
Yeah, I haven't let any of the other hosts ring the bell.
Yeah, you're rude.
So I was thinking this week, in the honor of love, I would let you ring the bell.
Aww.
But here at Bennett, we have a tradition.
Okay.
There's a bell behind the monitor in a heart-shaped bear. You
Okay.
just go get it.
All right, thank you. Oh my God. Ebony.
Yes?
I don't see the bell.